Hello, viewers. Welcome to my channel again. Today we have a special guest with us. So she comes from the same MGA world. I thought it would be good for her to share her story with us, and maybe some of you can relate to quite a few of the things, or at least something that's in common with your own struggles right now as you try to make a name and fame in this industry. So Anna, please tell us about yourself. Tell us a little bit about your background. How did you get into the industry? What were some of the highs and lows so far?
Okay, so I got licensed 6.5 years ago, and I started at the little AGA under the MGA, just basically like a traditional MGA world. I worked at several trying to find my kind of match. And then my friend actually introduced me to a company that I've been with for 5.5 years. And as we say, we don't join companies, we join people.
Exactly.
So that was the situation for me. I didn't check the company background, I didn't check anything, just the idea of how the company works sounded great, and it was something that I was really kind of looking for. So I decided to join him. And it started kind of, at least it was a different level, at least in comparison with the traditional MGAs. And I can say I had some like a better support, better guidance on just trying to do the business, like becoming a businesswoman, who I used to not be before. But with time, there appeared some challenges that, well, when, Sparsh, I think we always can judge something or appreciate something in comparison. So usually you cannot tell something is good or great or bad unless you can compare it to some other experiences you've been through. Right. So that was the case. Like I loved the company. I loved the spirit. I went to some events and it was like very cheerful. You see the success stories and you go inspired. You think, okay, I can make it. I can do it. So long story short, I got my promotions. I was trying to follow the system. I was like a true adept of the system. But yeah, I can say, did it work? Well, kind of yes and kind of no, but more no than yes. Because with the time I discovered that the system that they are promoting, they're not actually, nobody's following it, to be honest. To get the promotions, there was no transparency. So basically, you look at the people, they get promoted, but then you see that they're actually, they don't have some special qualities that you would think the leader would have to have in this case. And that started kind of holding me back a little and confusing. And when I got a team, my team grew up to about 15 people. I faced a challenge of a problem of like, how do I train these people? How do I get these people to become those business owners that they are promoting at those big events?
Yeah, the 3-3-30 model that you may be referring to.
Right.
the famous 3-3-30. But you said that your friend introduced you to this new opportunity. You were with another AGA under an MGA. Coming from that, maybe even at a higher compensation, sometimes to a lower compensation. How was that initial feeling? You thought you had support, and then you started working on the 3-3-30 model. How was it? Tell us a little bit about that.
Right. Okay, so basically, compensation-wise, those events, they would explain that there are those so-called candy companies that offer a higher compensation. How, like, well, you have to somehow promote why people get paid less, right? But, well, on the other hand, I understand. I was ready to give up a portion of my commission in order to get the training, in order to get a proper guidance. We go to universities, we go to colleges, we're ready to pay this money to have the knowledge and experience. So I basically, I don't mind that. I think it's good. I think it's still kind of workable idea. But of course, and again, on how much guidance is there, because there was not enough trainings provided from the company. Okay, it's my own opinion. Someone else can say something, but I truly didn't really see much of the trainings. And one of the things that kind of got me, very discouraged is like the trainings, even if when they were there, they were not like, they were repetitive, same thing, and it's sometimes they would be kind of unsatisfied with that we wouldn't show up. But you know what, I didn't want to show up on those meetings because I felt like, what is that new thing that I'm learning today? There's nothing. And I know we learn with repetition, but it cannot be all the time, all the same thing, all over and over. That is not actually working. With my people, it didn't, and with my situation, and with some time looking at myself from the side, I'm always very critical, very judgmental about how am I doing things, am I doing it right? And I felt like, well, something is wrong with me. It's like some other people are doing it. Why not me?
Right.
And then that's where I was trying to talk to my upline, and I heard the same, like, oh, Anna, it's your fault. You're not doing the right thing. I go, okay, so can you please guide me on what am I supposed to do? What do you think is good? And he would tell me, okay, you do this and that. I would try it. That wouldn't really work still. I was still kind of there. And then he would say, well, you did the wrong thing. So
and you are not alone, actually, Anna, because I hear that a lot. The training really depends on the group you end up joining. It's not something that's prevalent at a company level or at a very big hierarchy level as a standard. So even as a new agent, even though you were looking for the kind of support that you were at that point of time, you entered it and you saw that there's a big lack of that training and support that you needed. So what was the initial feeling that you had when you realized that?
Well, at first you think, okay, let me try something else, or let me try following those who made it there, right? Because this is the idea of all these companies like WFG, is you follow the leadership, you follow someone who has been there and achieved it. But one of the things that got me really frustrated one day, we had a meeting, and it was an SMD meeting. And we were sharing the experiences and who is where. And I realized that out of 15 SMDs in the meeting, there were only 2 or 3 who were really doing anything. And I don't know, I mean, making money at this point, right? I don't know what the rest were doing, because the rest were just sitting quietly, and I knew I didn't see their teams. I didn't really see the production. There was a point of time when we were sharing the numbers on the chat, like who's done what in a week, I believe, like how many people they recruited, how much production they've done. And again, this 13 out of 15 SMDs, there was nothing. There were zeros.
And was that also one of the reasons why you felt that sometimes your upline wasn't able to help you with questions, because maybe all he did was recruit?
Well, absolutely, right? When you recruit people, when you get them on your team, I don't know about others, but for me, it's a matter, I want them to succeed.
Right.
And I want them to see how, I want to show them the way, because when I didn't know the way, I would rely on my upline with some questions, right? But that was the thing that was kind of confusing on, okay, I got these people, you promised that we're going to lead them to success. And then, okay, if I'm a failure, if I cannot do it properly, well, can you please help me to do it? And the thing was, at some point I realized that my team was telling me that there were games going on in the background. So yeah, possibly the person would help the team to succeed, but I had to kind of be out of the picture at this point.
So essentially these folks were trying to recruit as many people as they can, using some good folks like you who put your own credibility on the line to help these people towards their goals. And now, without a lack of support, without a lack of proper training, and you being so new, you essentially were being taken advantage of just to get those people in. And then the uplines would maybe end up writing some policies on them. What was going on?
It wasn't about writing policies. It was about like taking people, suggesting those people to come to the upline.
Oh.
So telling them that she's not going to help you to succeed, but I will. See how many people I promoted, I got them successful, and she's like, you see, she cannot do anything. She cannot help you, but I can.
And
so come direct to me.
And your team said that to you? They told you this was going
Well,
on?
I was lucky that I built those proper relationship
Right.
with my team.
Right.
They saw my effort. They
Right.
saw how much I helped them. And, you know, looking back, I don't think I was like useless. I wasn't good enough. Yeah, I could do better, and I wish I would. That was my goal and point. But again, when you don't know what to do and you need the support,
Right.
and it's not there, it's not as that easy. Not everyone is born with the management talent. Not
Right.
everybody is born with a business orientation talent to be able to build a big business.
Exactly.
But as I realized, it's possible to learn these skills and to succeed.
Right. And then you saw that due to these dirty games being played, even though you were in your uplines team, that people were being taken or encouraged to be going to someone else and working with them instead of you building you up as a leader since you got them in. I mean, it saddens me to hear this, because this is not the right kind of precedent that you should be setting up in a people's business. See, at the end of the day, this is a people attraction business.
Truly.
And I also feel somewhere that places where there's a lot of focus on constant recruiting and playing these games, they end up earning a bad name, a bad reputation in the end.
If you cannot
Because of
maintain
this
those
thing.
people,
Exactly.
yes, right? If you cannot really build these people up, if you
Yeah.
you don't provide the proper
Right.
utilities
Right.
for them to grow, and what they say is just like, well, those were wrong people. Just get rid of them, get more, just replace them. They're not suitable.
So tell me something about the burnout. I mean, I do hear this often from people who work in these organizations that they have this constant pressure on them to go and recruit for a solid 5-6 years, keep family and everything else on the side. Some people do not end up attending their children's convocation ceremonies or annual functions or dance or whatever, sports events, big ones. They are not there for their family when the family needs them, because they were told that they have to build up their business for 5-6 years, give everything, and at the end of it they feel burnt out and used. So have you seen that, and have you ever felt or experienced that yourself?
I would say that yes, you have to sacrifice for the business. Any business owner that opens the business, whether it's in financial industry, any other, you have to sacrifice. Of course, there is a period of time you might be working, 12 hours a day, and it's understandable. But when there is a result, when there is an outcome, for instance, I felt that I'm working, I'm doing something. There's a lot of activities, I'm busy, but I don't get paid as much. Like, where is everything going, even helping my team members, because we kind of help them being promoted, because people were not satisfied with the commission that they would receive. We would try to kind of, help them on the other side. Okay, let's help them with their promotions. That would cut my commission as a manager, right? As an SMD, for instance, I would make twice less money for still the same effort, and maybe even double effort. Because if there would be a general training that everyone would have to attend, and again, we live in attack times where there are computers, there are Zooms. So why should we do the trainings in person all the time? Because not everyone is able to attend. It's a lot of time to drive, especially for those people who work somewhere else.
Exactly.
Or like I had kids and I was told by my upline, well, you have to organize your time, you have to drop it, and you have to come to the office. Which, you know what, I did it on like one day of the week on Saturdays, but the other day I said, sorry, no, I'm not sacrificing that, because I'm not even making anything. There's no outcome. And he pointed out to me that that's why your team is not succeeding. That's why you're, because you're not ready to sacrifice. And I said, well, how much do I sacrifice? How much more?
Yeah. So you came to a saturation point where you were burning out. You were not learning new things. Your business wasn't growing. Your commissions and override spreads were very low. You were losing more money for investing so much time with your team.
Exactly.
So much for all the hoopla around passive income that they keep talking on and on and on about.
Yeah.
But then what was it that, what were the two top things that made you think, okay, this is it, I think it's time to leave and find a new place to call home?
Well, first thing, I wasn't making enough money. That's the key point, right?
Right.
And I came to my upline a couple of times. He was also my friend. So I thought, like, I respected him. I still do. I'm still grateful. I cannot say, oh, they're just a bad person,
Yeah, of course.
I'm still
Nothing
grateful.
personal, yeah.
Right. But yeah, and it's possibly not exactly his fault. But in general, it's just the company structure and the way the system is, where, like, to survive there, you have to go around the rules. You have to really, like, show one thing and do the other.
Yeah.
Because you can't, if you try to follow the system, there's
selling
no way.
the dream while yourself
while living the nightmare.
Yeah. That definitely rings a bell.
True.
And I hope that rings a bell for a couple of our viewers, if not all of you watching this. So Anna, you joined Experior about a year ago now. So what were the key reasons that led you to think of joining us, and how has the journey been so far?
Well, I start with, interesting things, Parsh, like in our mental toughness training, right? We talk about the vision, that the vision is everything, right? And I remember when I was in that time of frustration and not knowing where to go and what to do, I decided, okay, I have to create the vision of the company or of the situation that I want, that the way I want it to be.
Right.
So I decided, like, what do I need? What do I think I need to get this business successful for me and for my team? And I said, okay, I need the training from the company that would teach the team. Yes, there is a product training and there has to be some kind of a business training, which, WFG had that type of training that was amazing, but it was like maybe once in 6 months.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, and they were running it like 9 to 11 of our time, and but you know what? I was always there, because not at the office, online.
Okay.
But it was really great training, and I was attending those. But that was it. Like, I need more. My team needs more. You know.
Yeah.
So that were key points, and I wanted the company to be like really transparent. I didn't want those games. I was there were some situations where, like, I discovered that if SMD promotes an SMD and the upline SMD doesn't maintain their production, they actually, their commission cuts in half from the downline SMD.
Wow, that's a big one. Yeah.
They never say it in the trainings, and they never disclose it, and like, you can only learn about it when you're there.
It happens.
What's the point for me to help the person to get promoted to an SMD level? You know, I asked my upline, right? So true. And he said, well, you just keep going, you keep promoting. When people are running for promotion, that's where you make money, right?
Okay.
But okay, they run for promotion once, and then how do we make money going on forward?
Exactly.
So I have to keep promoting, but it means you're constantly running. and there is basically no end to it. It's not that you work 5-6 years and then you can relax. No. You have to keep going all the time.
And tell us also about what happened to your clients you had while you were there when you left.
That's amazing. That's amazing, right? So in all these big events, they tell you, well, the point of this business is that you own it. You own your client base.
Yeah.
But here we go. I come to. Sorry, Experior had to show me that it's actually not true. And I asked my upline. I said, "Do you know about this?"
Yeah.
He was like, "Yeah."
So he knew about it.
So what?
Okay.
So what? Yeah, I'll get there. I will be there. I will be at that level. Well, and it's your problem if you don't. Keep promoting, keep going, right?
That's it. Just do what the system says, but not be there to actually help you get there. So what kind of leadership is that, I feel? And anyway, what happened. So now tell us a couple of your key highlights in the less than a year with us. What were some of the key highlights and differences you saw, other than the compensation? Of course, that's a big one. The product shelf,
it's unbelievable.
The brand, the timing of things, and the opportunity to build across multiple countries. Other than that, what were some of the key things?
As far as you listed it all, to be honest.
No, but you can talk about your team growing and going places.
Okay.
The turnaround, right? 3x the business.
Well, yeah. First thing that I noticed, even on my writing business on my own pen, the expert financial analysis tool is just unbelievable, and amazing, and easy to follow. Come on, we were doing those appointments, and WFG is basically sitting with people. Yes, we're in a people business, but we are professionals. So we gotta be I was trying to come up with the idea how to look professional, how to make it professional way. But again, I lack those business skills, those perfect business skills to be able, like a great salesperson, just be there, talk and sell, right? So this tool is a very universal technology that everyone can use. And okay, even if I can do it perfectly, at this point, my new team members who come there, they have to be able to follow something. And you know what the problem is? When you meet with a client, if you don't have a schedule there, you forget things.
Exactly.
Oh, I forgot to bring that paper. Oh, I forgot to ask that question.
Exactly.
But when you have that structured expert financial analysis tool, we do at Experior, it's just piece of cake. It's easy.
Yeah, there you go. So even if a brand new person to the industry ends up joining us, and let's say they have a couple of teammates that are also brand new to the industry, it's all about the duplication. How duplicatable is your business? So there has to be that system where a person, let's say, doesn't know the back end of our business, which is the product part. They at least can master the front end of the business, which is the people part.
Yeah.
And build that trust, build that rapport, ask the right questions, and that will get you to your goals. And the right way, the compliant way, with all the sorts of compliant ways that are expected of us now by the industry, by the regulators. So you did that, you started using that, your team has started duplicating that, and tell us a few things about how your teammates have done so far.
Well, it's been really interesting, because one of my teammates one of the times we were talking, and said, "So how do you think it's going? How do you like it?" First of all, she said, "Anna, anywhere you go, I follow you." It's that was such a great decision.
Right.
That was the best decision we ever made. Right. And she said, look, I want to share something with you. Look, this is the folder from the previous company. This is from WFG. I've been there for 2 years. There are 6 clients, 2 or 3 of which are actually my own policies, for my family. And then here she is for a 6 months period. She showed me the folder. She said it's about, I think, 13 or 14 clients in 6 months period.
Wow.
And at first, when we just started, she was kind of like unsure. So do we, like, she looked at that new client introduction page that we have, that we use. She was like, I don't think it's a kind of valid thing to use, our community, I'm not sure. And I said, well, you know what, let's just use it. Let's just, what's the worst case scenario? You're going to lose one client, but I'm not sure, I don't think you will lose the client just because you did the thing that way, because you asked some questions. It actually seems to be valid. And you know what? After she really just started following that and using this, the new client introduction page and the EFA, that's where the things really got going.
And right now she's making more commission than an SMD would make at WFG, right? And she's at the second level here.
Yeah, and you know what? We're not even looking what level we are, because it's like, well, I'm making money. I'm making more at the lower level here that I did at WFG.
Exactly.
And she got her promotion. She got it the proper way.
Proper way.
She closed as much business
shortcuts.
as she was supposed to.
Exactly.
Now she's basically at the same level as she was at WFG. And by the way, before she left from there, she was offered to get promoted to the next level. Yeah, well, like, no problem. We'll get you. We'll get you. And I said, listen, you're gonna still get paid less.
Right.
And the other thing, what a good thing that happened at that time when we were transitioning here to Experior, is that I got a client looking for something, like for some health and dental benefits, that at WFG I wouldn't be able to offer her anything.
I see.
We had a few products, but I know they were not as great as they are here.
Right.
And same thing is happening now with, honestly, all the products. The product shelf is just,
amazing.
It was mind-blowing in the beginning. I was lost. I felt like I was a newbie after almost 6 years in the industry. As far as I felt like I'm new. So much to learn. And my team members were the same, but luckily a lot of them were still new. So for them it was like, just a little more to learn. But it's been great. It's been amazing.
And your overrides now, are you happy with them?
First of all, I'll tell you, Sparsh, I don't look at the overrides that much, because when I close my business, I make a good commission.
Awesome.
My teammates close it, they are happy.
Exactly.
Because honestly, at WFG, none of us was happy.
Yeah.
My teammates were like, it's, but I kind of don't feel motivated. Even if I close more, it's still kind of, not as much. And I was like, well, I feel the same way, but I have to figure out the way to make it.
And now they're learning new things. They're learning new ways of closing business, prospecting, providing multiple choices to the client because of our product shelf, no matter what product they're selling. And there's no pressure to sell one company or one product from anyone at any level at Experior, like there is now at different companies. We all know it. People watching the video, they all know it. So they have been able to close, I think you were telling me, more and more tricky cases now.
Oh yeah.
And even on the investment side now, they have started to become more confident and earn income and build a more balanced business, focusing equally on insurance as well as investments. Whereas at the previous place, all they were doing was just doing UL.
Pretty much, I would agree, because investments is a complicated product, right? And for many people, it's like an unapproachable subject. It's like, oh, I'll better not even talk about it. Or the conception there was, when I started talking about, like, what about investments? Well, you get paid like peanuts, right? And that's how it feels, but actually investments is a long-term perspective, and when you build your book of business, you get paid more, and especially when your commission structure is like here at Experior, right? So I would say definitely more diversified, more options to offer, and again, there are people you can refer to that would help you learn the
Right.
investment products.
Right.
Because, for instance, there, when we started, I learned about that we are doing RESPs not only on a referral basis. After I've been in that company, in that office for about 2 years, I think. And then I was like, oh, so we can do it ourselves, right? Because I lost a few clients because of the referral process that was so complicated. And when it's a cold market, people freak out. They don't want to fill out that paper, put some random numbers there just because you referred them.
Exactly.
And you're not there because it's a referral product. So
Referral
you are
product.
not even supposed to be talking to them and explaining them how the product
Right.
works. So then I started learning how to do RESP. My first RESP I did it for my own kid, and that's how I learned. That's where the ball started rolling on that side.
Yeah. So I see that you are always trying new things and always up for a new challenge. You want to keep raising your bar high, keep playing the game, keep raising the bar every time and win in the business. So with that, Anna, I'll just ask the last question. What is something that you would give out as a message to our viewers who are maybe in the same situation as you, or sort of struggling and thinking about moving out, finding a new place to call their home where they actually own the business?
I would say, guys, just don't be scared. Don't be scared. Take a leap of faith. It's gonna worth it. And we may have those thoughts like, what am I gonna do with my clients? I have a client base, but I'll tell you, every new client you write a business for while you're still thinking, you are losing them too. And why would you want to do this, right? For me, it was like, well, I'll just write the business in the new company. I'll get compensated better, and it's gonna be my client. Like, there is nothing that Experior is in between. Whereas there in WFG, I had to, like, I thought that was convenient. We have one code for all the companies, but that was why, because the company owns your clients. You cannot even take them with you.
Take them with you, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But
Good.
there is a way. There is still a way that you can at least little by little transfer your client base, right? And service them and keep the relationship. But that's, I think it's going to be another topic, another day.
Yes, it was really amazing having you on our session today. And hopefully we inspire a lot of people watching this video. So feel free to reach out either to me or to Anna and see who you want to work with if you are looking for a new place to call home. We would be happy and would love to take you to your goals. Thank you. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Spars.